Well, hello and welcome everybody to the SoCal Edison Retirement Workshop webinar on December 1st. I am Cary. I will be your host and moderator tonight. We're going to spend 30 minutes together going over what I've learned over the last 15 years helping Edison employees retire from Edison. So let's get right into it. Disclosures here. If you need a copy of our ADV, little background information about our firm, please give us a call at that number there. Steps for successful retirement. We are going to get right into it because number one's done. You're here. So congratulations. Attend a workshop. We want you to read the retirement handbook, and we're not going to ask you to do that now. I'm actually going to walk through it with you because in our handbook, which we do have available on our website, and we'll share a link with you as well, includes everything we've learned over the years and what we've basically boiled it down to. We're going to talk about the toolkit as well. So the handbook and the toolkit. The toolkit's more about the numbers of retirement. And so we have in there a balance sheet and budget, 2 easy steps to start, spend 15 to 30 minutes on each one. And you'll be well on your way to understanding where you're at and hopefully identify maybe what's getting in the way of retirement. We're going to talk about building the vision. Some next steps we will share with you are fees and expenses and what we do. We don't hide behind that. And we like to share that with you. And then finally, retire and all life has to offer. And then at the end, I'm going to share too, we have some of live events coming up, some dates in the future. So we're going to be back in person. The stock market, yes, everybody knows Drew Cary, whose line is it anyways? Welcome to the stock market where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Feels that way sometimes. This is our team here. That's me in the center. Looks like with the same coat on. Maybe it is the same coat. I try to keep it simple. And there's our team there. We have 4 certified financial planners on our team. We're a true ensemble. We work with about 330 families, and we manage just over about $260 million in assets. And we do a lot of planning, retirement planning. We do tax work. We are not tax accountants, but we do a lot of tax planning. Right now is busy for us for year-end work for our clients. And that's our lovely team, and we're excited to be here hosting this event for you. So 5 bare essentials, we made this in the comments section. If you're attending live, we're going to share this with you. On the replay, we'll make it available in the email. Some of you have already seen this, but we also put together the 5 bare essentials to consider when retiring from SoCal Edison. So if you want to watch this, I'm not going to play it now. It's about 5.5 minutes. We have that for you. Let's go ahead and hit next. There we go. So let's get right into it. One of the most common things our clients ask us about are the retirement options in their 401k plan. Now, back in 2011, SoCal Edison changed their 401k plan from a bunch of mutual funds to 3-tier options. We have the 10 target date funds there, the first option. And then the tier 2 is, and I apologize, this slides from years ago, but not much has changed. I think there's 8 core funds now instead of 7. But same for today's workshop. Is the target date funds are made up of the tier 2 core funds. So if you want an easy choice, right, you don't want to deal with it, the target date's not a bad option. The only issue with the target date is sometimes it adds a little bit too much cash or the money market. And so that can have a drag on performance. And so if you look at the breakdown of the target date funds, maybe the one for you, if you were going to retire in 2025, you would get the 2025 target date fund. And then there would be a mix of investments that are appropriate for some of your age and time horizon. But if you want customization beyond that, you go to tier 2 and you can break those down and build a portfolio that suits you. And I would say if you're using financial engines, they are doing the tier 2 choice for you. If you're wanting to save some money, you don't want to do any of that stuff, you could, instead of paying financial engines to do it, is you could build your own custom mix on tier 2 based off a target date fund. So it's kind of a easy way to build a portfolio. Again, the cash is a little tricky, but we can help you with that. Finally, this is actually what we do is tier 3 is Charles Schwab. We do charge quite a bit more than financial engines, but the work we do hopefully proves our value. But in the tier 3 options actually at Charles Schwab. And so we can buy and sell all the choices at Schwab, which are thousands, to build a portfolio for you. And that is what we do for our clients. So I'll talk about that later. Changing work environment. So I put this slide in here because a lot of people right now are calling because of the changing work environment. It really comes down to 2 pieces. One is they are asking everybody to go back to work in a hybrid model in January. And two, they're also requiring a mandate. This is coming down at the national and federal level for large employers to require a vaccine mandate or to implement the mandate. So some of our clients are wanting to retire because one, they don't maybe want to go back to work, or two, they don't want to comply with the mandate, or they just don't agree with it. And we will not get into which side of things we are on and how we feel about this, but here's what I'll share with you. I believe that if Edison is forced to make a difficult decision and let people go for the mandate, I would suggest you not retire and let them make that decision. And this is strictly just coming from the fact that the responsibility of that decision is on the employer and not you. Meaning if you left, that's a decision you made. It makes it real easy on an employer. And I'm not speaking anything specific to Edison. This is just general advice. Is it's much easier for them if you leave. So if you were to retire in January because you didn't want to comply with either going back in person, or you didn't want to get a booster or your first vaccine or your second, or whatever the situation is, I would not leave on your own. I would let them make that decision. It just puts the responsibility on them and not you. However, for our clients who want to retire anyways, or if they are worried about that change happening, they want a plan. So we're going to get into what that looks like. And what we want to do is talk about having a plan, because if that, let's say none of that applies to you and you're just here tonight or listening to this today and you want to find out if you can retire, here's what you need. First, you need a plan. Two, you need a plan. And we're serious about that. Is we've seen a lot of clients retire over the years from Southern California Edison. We also do quite a bit of work with Chevron, and specifically out in the Bay Area, not the Bay Area, but South, like Redondo, El Segundo area where the big refinery is. And is have a plan, because what we don't want to do is have something like that sneak up on us, or even a health event that would force a retirement, and if we don't feel we're ready. And we put in here, plan to retire around October. We see a lot of times clients want to retire at the end of the year. This works well for a couple of reasons. It's the last one's most important, is the large distributions pre-59.5. With the 55 rule, you can take a one-time distribution upon final distribution, which means leaving Edison, retiring. You can take a distribution directly from the 401k plan as a percentage. And I know nobody's retired who's listening to this, but we've done this a number of times with our clients, is take a distribution directly to you, and that'll avoid penalties. That's the 10% penalty for federal tax penalty pre-59.5. So the 55 rule is most important here. And we do include the SEE pension formula. There's a few people that are still grandfathered for the old pension formula. They pretty much have all retired, but we still come across a couple that are. And if you are not sure, you can run a pension projection online and find out if you are grandfathered. But most everybody's now on the new cash balance. I say new, it's been around for a while now, but is on the cash balance formula. So end of the year always seems to be a milestone, and people also like work anniversaries. But end of the year is nice, because at the end of the year, if you need to make that distribution, back to the previous point, is you could defer it to January, so you don't add on that distribution to avoid penalties on top of all your income from working this year. Any questions, by the way, welcome to email us or add them to the comments. We're happy to address these at no cost. We do quite a bit of this work, and we give back a lot to the community, because we've been around the Edison space for a long time. Retirement handbook. So number 4 here, retire after 55, but before 59.5. This is what I just talked about. So this is the 55 rule. We can also do a 72T distribution that requires substantially equal periodic payments over 5 years, or 59.5, whichever is longer. I do have an Edison client. He is retired. He is now in his 4th year of a 72T, and it's going well. But the problem with that is they're not flexible. So we don't love doing a 72T if we don't have to. But if you are 55 or 56 and you need to retire and you don't want to pay penalties, we're happy to set up a 72T distribution from your individual retirement account and make that work. Medical subsidy. So retiree medical subsidy, please plan for that. If you don't know what it is, call into HR. The phone number is there, 866-693-4947. Ask them if you are grandfathered, and this is separate from the grandfathered pension formula. This has to do with your retiree medical. So just because you're not grandfathered in the old pension formula does not mean you aren't grandfathered into the retiree medical subsidy. So everybody who's retiring right now, who's had a number of years with Edison, will most likely have the 85% subsidy for yourself and an 80% subsidy for your spouse. And it's a continuation benefit, which means as you retire, what you're paying today is what you would pay in retirement. Every year, the rates change because of the rising cost of medical. And if you retire and just say you're on the Kaiser plan, or let's say you're on the PPO and you want to move to Kaiser, you can make that change during annual enrollment every year in retirement. So you don't need to lock anything in. Please know that you can make changes during open enrollment and when you retire, because when you retire is a eligible time or a qualifying period that is eligible to make changes to your plan. So any questions about those, let us know. And I've heard good things about Kaiser, by the way. I know that was different 15 years ago, but a lot of our clients are using Kaiser and they seem to be giving me a lot of great feedback. However, if you're moving out of the state of California, please check to make sure that Kaiser is available, because we know that's an issue. Goodbye to debt. If you've got credit card debt, this is one thing you could go away that's black and white. If you have the cash available, even if it'll make it tight, go ahead and pay off the credit cards. If you have a promotional rate and it's 0%, that may be different. But if you have credit card debt, please pay it off. Now, if you're eligible for your sick time payout, and there's union covered employees who still get sick time payout, you want to take a look at that calculation. 20% of your accrued benefit is paid out to you at retirement. And this brings up another point. If you have any major medical, maybe a knee that needs replacing, do it while you're still working. And I'm not trying to take advantage of Edison's benefits here. And if they're listening, I apologize, I'm not. But my point is do it while you're employed, not in retirement, because you have all this sick time that if you need to use during an extended period, you can use up for these types of procedures. And so that, and also if there was a complication, if you had to go out on long-term disability, it's much better to do that at 63 years old as opposed to 68 when your disability insurance benefits are no longer. So if you have major medical, get it done now before you retire. That's my suggestion. That's my personal advice. Build and keep a budget. We talked about in the toolkit. There's going to be a budget template. Again, it's available on our site. We shared the link here. And if you're getting this by email for the replay, we'll include a link to our site as well with the resources we have for Edison employee benefits. Build 6 months worth of emergency reserves. This one is so important. So if you have credit card debt, pay it off. After that, build your emergency reserves back up to $24,000 in this example, which is just based off $4,000 a month if you needed to get by for 6 months. So important. It provides a lot of flexibility and peace of mind. Our clients share with us, and I understand. I was a poor kid living at my grandpa's house and struggled through college, and I get it. It's hard to save money and it's hard to keep the debt paid off. But once the credit card debt is paid off, build up that cash cushion. Having that cash on hand really provides a lot of flexibility and peace of mind. Weigh all your Social Security options. Just because you can take it at 62 doesn't mean you need to. If you're healthy at 62, you can wait and take it at full retirement age 66 or 67, depending on the year you were born. And we do recommend that. Most of our clients are waiting until 66 or 67 if they're healthy at 62, but not much further past that. It's a benefit to wait until age 70, but a lot of clients just don't want to wait that long. And so we're seeing a lot of our clients take it. Our job as your advisor is to show you the options, how much money you would collect during your lifetime with different options, and then help you make a educated decision. Talked about 11 earlier, PCRA, that's us. Financial engines you could also use through Edelman. It's a good step in the direction of what we do. So if you are using financial engines, that is one step towards saying you need help. And we like that. A lot of our clients come from financial engines and become clients of ours. If you're not using anything and you're doing it yourself, I think I would just get real clear about if you want to continue doing yourself in retirement. And we'd love to have the opportunity to help you. Finally, if you haven't started planning yet, we can help. Social Security, I talked about this already, 62 to 67 is the age to claim. Go ahead and defer it if you can, if you're healthy. If not, then you probably are better off taking it early at age 62. But again, it's just a personal decision. A lot of people are nervous about it not being around. And I understand that concern. But if you are healthy at 62, every month you wait, you get a little extra benefit. So go ahead and defer it for as long as you can. We can also design a financial plan for you in retirement to spend a little bit more from other accounts until you turn Social Security on at 66 or 67. And when that happens, maybe turn the income off that you have from your saved cash balance pension plan or 401k and supplement that Social Security, and that'll help make sure your accounts last as long as you intend for them to last. Retirement toolkit, here we go. So toolkit, this is really simple. This is also on the site, so the link that we're going to share with you, warrentstreetwealth.com/SoCal Edison employee benefits. We have the budget here, so we have assets and liabilities, real simple. I've had clients over the years do everything from not do it, it's pretty common, to doing it and spending about 15, 20 minutes, all the way to doing a full audit of their entire year. Now, I guess it's like a physician saying, what's the best exercise? It's kind of whichever one you'll do. So my suggestion for you is whichever one you'll do. My recommendation is to take something like this and spend about 15 minutes to 20 minutes completing it. And here's why. You're going to write down something on here. Excuse me, this is the wrong slide. That's our net worth. There we go. Budget. Is we're going to take a look at this budget. You're going to write some things down here that bother you. So maybe it's, I don't know, haircut and personal care. Maybe you get your hair or nails done every 2 weeks, and you just don't like that you're spending $120 on that, and you want to cut that back. All right. The goal of this is to find something on the budget that you can identify, circle, cross out, actually go and implement, right? Implement your change, your solution. Because if you make a perfect budget and you do nothing with it, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It will give us an idea how much you're going to need in retirement, so it's helpful. But the goal of the budget is to try to cut back expenses that don't provide you any value or any joy. Don't get rid of your bowling league if you love to bowl. If the bowling league, even if it's $50 or $100 a month, if that's the thing you love to do, keep that and take a look maybe at the mortgage at refinancing. Obviously, everybody knows right now it's an incredible time to refinance. So taking advantage of things such as a refinance, or maybe getting rid of an extra vehicle, or even, downsizing in retirement is what a lot of people are doing right now, is selling their homes and moving out of state. And that's something I love helping clients do, is trying to figure out a plan for that, that downsize, and just kind of getting the gumption to do it. So build your vision for retirement. One, we get into the weeds with our clients and on these workshops. And again, this is a quick version. This is going to be the 30-minute version. We're going to be in person starting back up in 2022. Those workshops are 60 to 90 minutes, and we do those in person throughout Southern California. So we get into a little bit more there, but one thing I really want to share here is, what are you going to do with your new time? One of the questions I ask our clients all the time, and I ask Edison clients at workshops, is, you now have an extra 40 to 60 hours a week. What will you do with it? And start thinking about that now, because the more clarity you find in what it is you want to do with your new time and your money and the relationships, the easier it will be to see the finish line, meaning transition away from work into retirement and this new chapter of life. And where are you going to live? We talked about this already, but I do enjoy this idea. A lot of clients love the idea of downsizing and moving out of state, where maybe it's not as much smog, pollution, traffic. The cost of living here is so expensive. This is what this shows. The red is the most expensive, no surprise, Southern California and San Diego there in the Bay Area on the left side. In California is very, very expensive. So you can see, you can go around to states in which are a little bit more affordable. Two things to keep in mind here: weather and relationships are really what determine what our clients focus on when they do settle down. So it's no surprise, a lot of clients, or a lot of people in California, are moving to Texas. Texas is state income tax free. So that's a nice little benefit. You'll save 5 to 9% on all withdrawals in retirement in Texas. Washington State as well. Nevada, we see a lot of clients going. Arizona is not state tax-free, but a lot of clients going to Arizona because it's close and the weather is good. Hot summers, obviously. So So anyways, just take a look at that. But again, don't pick a state based on taxes. If you get there and the weather's miserable and the winters are terrible and there's nobody else to hang out with, it will not be worth it. Next steps, I told you we'd talk about our fees. We charge for two services. We have financial planning, meaning if you come to us with no investments and you just need a plan, they start at $2,500, and there's goal planning, tax planning, retirement, investment, portfolio analysis, estate planning, insurance, employee benefits. That comes with a year of service with our entire team. And you'll have a lead certified financial planner. You'll have a partner advisor, an associate advisor who's a paraplanner, and then a portfolio manager surrounding your family to help implement our solutions and recommendations. If you just do investing, and you can do one or both, most do both. And if you do one or both, here's the prices. But investing, we start at 1%. If you're referred to us, that falls under friends and family. If you are not referred to us and you're a brand new client, you will not fall under the friends and family pricing, but you'll have the fee below, which is 1.25 on the first $500,000 and 1.15 on the next $500,000. If you were to refer one of your coworkers or anybody to us, you immediately fall to the schedule here, which is our friends and family pricing. So you would fall to 1%, and you'd also get group bundled pricing for up to 5 families. And this is something we've been doing for about 4 years now, and it's become very popular. And this helps keep our marketing costs down, which actually helps keeps our fees down and keeps us competitive with the big players in the space like UBS, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and then even some of the other firms that compete in the SoCal Edison space. So we thank our clients who are listening to this, who have referred and are part of that program. And if you are not, I'm happy to answer any questions about that. Well, let's get back to you, planning. So if you want to talk about planning, it's a 6-step process. We go through establish, which is a first initial discovery, or first initial establish meeting, which leads to discovery. And on that call, the number one there is entirely free. We charge nothing for those established calls, and we will include a link to book time with myself. No strings attached. It's 60 minutes with me. I will go through what we do, what you have going on, and answer any questions you have on a one-on-one basis. And you can book that online, Zoom, phone call, and you can even do it in person if you want to come down to our office in Tustin. If you do decide you want to move forward, we could then go through full discovery for a financial plan. We build the plan, step 3. Step 4 is our solutions, where we come up with actually the end of the plan, which is what all recommendations are going to be for you, your family, and to accomplish your goals. And the reason we do a year included of service with our financial plans is because it takes a long time to implement some of these plans. One of the goals you might have is retirement. That doesn't happen overnight. Maybe it's to get a living trust. Maybe it's to refinance the house. Maybe it's to fix your 401k allocation because you're still all cash, or you're all in Edison stock, or you're all over the place and you want us to help get you back into the market. If you are in all cash, get back into the market. And that just takes time. So we used to just give a plan to a client and say, here you go, here's your plan. It's all in there. Good luck. But that doesn't work. So we do a full year with you to implement that plan. And finally, monitor and adapt. If we get all the implementation done, sometimes we can get it done very quickly. If the client has a little extra time and wants to be aggressive in the planning, we can get that done. And then we spend, the rest of the year working with you, getting you prepared for whatever the next milestone may be. Yes, we have. We go off judgment, and we can get a pretty good idea of what where a client is. But at the end of the day, behind a plan is a ton of data to support everything we do. Inflation, investments, Social Security, outside accounts is all tied back to the comprehensive financial plan. There isn't anything that we cannot do with these plans. We can manipulate goals. We can manipulate what if scenarios. We can play around with on track, off track. We can look at the budget. We can increase spending. We can increase savings. We can do all kinds of fun stuff with a plan once we have all the data in there. And here's how we invest. So if you go on the tier 3 option and you have us manage your 401k for you on a active basis, this is what we have. We have stocks, bonds, and real assets. And we'll take these 3 core portfolios that we do manage in-house, and we will build a portfolio for you that meets your goals and objectives that we all agree to. Edison stock. So I put this one in here because some clients still own quite a bit of Edison stock, a little bit too much. And I just want to show the last 5 years what it looks like. The last 5 years, Edison stock there is at the bottom in the dark blue. And this is as of November 29th, so just 2 days ago. 5 year looking back, Edison stock has returned 10.4% over the last 5 years compared to the S&P 500, drumroll please, 128.9%. Now, obviously, we don't just buy the S&P 500 for our clients, but if you're taking as much risk as Edison stock carries, why not just get the S&P 500 and pick up all that return without the risk of deregulation as we saw in the early 2000s when Enron went belly up and bankrupt and deregulation was a real thing, and Edison stock price went from 24 bucks a share down to $6 a share. If you held, you did well because it came back, but it took about 4 years. So we just want to diversify. And this story isn't just about Edison stock. If you don't have Edison stock and you're bored, I understand. But it's the same when it comes to when clients ask us about individual stocks or IPOs, is you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. And what that saying is talking about is a single security. Name any of the new IPOs we've heard about, but all the way back from, Beyond Meat, to Peloton. We've seen a lot come and go. We've seen a lot of clients get hurt along the way by playing with money that maybe they should not have been playing with. So talk to us if you have any ideas or thoughts on that. And then a 10-year, it's the same story, just not as bad because Edison had a good run up leading to about 2018. So retire and enjoy all life has to offer. So my favorite thing to do with Warren Street Wealth Advisors, I'm one of the founding partners here. Warren is my middle name, and my business partner is Blake Street in the photo earlier. My favorite thing to do is help clients make big decisions, and which is why I love doing these retirement workshops. I love doing them in person. I do not prefer Zoom, but that is the environment we live in. So I'd love to see you at one of our in-person events. If you can't make those, that's fine. I am available to talk with you for a free complimentary consultation, and we'll share the link with everybody to book one. If we have any questions, we'll take them. If not, we're going to wrap up. Feel free to contact us. You can go to our website /schedule. You can book time with me right on our website. You're welcome to give us a call. We are real people. We will answer the phone, or you can shoot us an email. And here's that event. Save the date, Tuesday, January 25th at 4:30. We're going to be at the Old Spaghetti Factory. It's a venue we've gone to many times over the years, and we always have a good time there. They have good food, and it's a real nice large room with a good seating. So. And yes, we will buy dinner. So free dinner, tell your friends. We've got a lot of people come back to workshops who are going to work with us in the future. And even if you're 5 or 10 years away from retirement, that is totally fine. Please come and join us. We'd love to see you there. And without further ado, I'm going to wrap it up. Well, thank you everybody for attending the workshop tonight. I wish you all the best of luck in planning your retirement, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great one, everybody.